What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with the second attempted Marsh game of the series. The first one ended in a very swift veto, courtesy of the red player who is in the Ra color playing as red. No, he is Ra and he is red, and I am 1:06 in the morning, and this is Magic. If you don't know who Magic is, where have you been? He is one of my favorite players in this entire game, and his opponent today, also an equally notoriously excellent Age Mythology player in his own right, playing as Zeus in the blue color. Zeus? Did I just say Zeus? Playing as Zeus. Zeus is this new god that you guys have no idea about. A bit of an NDA, but you know, whatever. In the blue color, and his name is Squash. Yes, we have another game. It's 1-1. Both players taking the game each. Magic taking that first game against Thor with his Ra, and then Squash taking the second game as Poseidon there against Magic's Ra. Really, really strong performance from Squash in that second game, abusing some of Magic's risky play there, but getting a lot of value out of it and definitely deserving to get that win there. We'll see if Magic adapts in this game. We do see is a new god for Squash. Third different god here. Third different. Feels good. Very, very good for Squash. He's very happy just playing all the gods. Very strong random god player in his own right. So I wouldn't be surprised if he could play every single god to top one on the Vubli ladder if he put the time in. So we'll see what Magic's going to be doing here against the Zeus. Very honestly, probably one of the harder matchups for Ra on this map. You probably have like the Odin, Thor, Loki kind of bunch of gods which do nicely on Marsh. But I think Ra has some options against those. But against Zeus, there's not a lot you can do to counter the early Jason, Theseus, Centaur, fast second town center sort of play. There's some nice water buffalo here actually for Magic, so maybe he's going to be fine. But what I like to do here as Ra is just move forward and eat these boar first, leave my deer in my base so that I can eat them in the classical age when the Odysseus and the Jason are running around doing their thing. But this is what Magic's doing. He's got such nice hunt. It's probably not even worth it because he's got the water buffalo. He doesn't even need to eat these boar in the front of his base at all. So I take it all back. This is going to be completely fine for Magic. The only real option here for Squash, that early harass, not going to be that useful here. The only real option here for Squash, maybe Ford Temple. Yeah, maybe an Athena Rush here. Athena Rush on this map, not a bad idea at all. Potentially even a two-town center Athena Rush, just so it's not an all-in. Could be, well, it's not an Athena Rush, but a two-town center Athena style here. Might not even be a bad idea because you can hit the timing at like 9 minutes when Ra hits the heroic age. You hit that timing then, push straight in onto this gold mine with restoration, and you can do a lot of damage. So we'll see what he's going to do. But with the 4 temples, this does indicate to me that this wants to be a one town center fast. I take it all back. This is a two town center Athena. This is two town center Athena. With this many villages on gold, you can see he put the early villages on wood here, and he's already has the resources to advance. Getting that early Jason out goes for a 354 here. It's like a 345-ish, but with the Jason as well. Going to be able to grab some relic possibly. He's got Canopic Jar of Imset here as well. That is huge. That's going to give him so many more hoplites if he wants to grab it. What's this relic here? We got the Flagstone of Buhan. Not the best at all. And this Catasculptor should see the other relic around here is my assumption. No, he does not. Oh, no. Squash has already grabbed the System of Bast here. And Magic's got the Staff of Dionysus. Actually, all incredibly good relics for these players. And Magic's early tar here is going to be very, very useful for him. There's the Canopic Jar. It may actually give away the Athena, but Athena's going to come and he's going to notice it anyways. But like I said, this is going to be two town center Athena, followed with some incredibly fast Incredibly fast shenanigans here. Will we see a bolt on this Wadget? I guess the Minotaur just pops out and kills the Wadget. No problem. The villager does get brought forward here. Obviously wants to get that town center up. The Minotaur going to be able to defend against that one, leaving the villagers on this gold mine for just a little bit longer. The Catascopus does get picked off there, and the Jason has to remove or retreat back to his home base. The Minotaur does move slightly faster than the Wadget, so we'll be able to pick this one off eventually, which is going to be completely fine. Now, Squash grabbing this talent center. Archery range again here. This is awfully close to the build that he did last game, which did so well. However, in this matchup, with this matchup here, we have Athena, which will change a lot of the dynamic here. And again, similarly to the last game, there isn't really a good gold mine here for Magic. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him, well, I would like to see him go for that market in his home base, not push out to this gold mine too early, especially against the Athena, and just trade and make sure he gets out all of those chariot archers. There is an option here for Squash to not go hoplite. He can go for Hippocon here and go for a semi-fast. He's not going for it, but I'll tell you what the option here, which we haven't seen very much of. You go for a semi-fast heroic with Dionysus, and you get Thracian horses. Obviously you can't get the Spirited Charge, but it doesn't matter that much. Once you get Thracian horses, bronze restoration push, you can completely push through a defense fortified location if it works. If the map works for it, which this map sort of does. However, the military academies here for Squash are going to be just as good, I'm sure. And we'll see if he can even just push through this location. Unfortunately, he loses his Catascopus. Magic way too good to fall for the back and forth micro of the nice shifting stance. But the Odysseus gets out. That's huge. You got to run around the other way, though. Unfortunately, there's no way out that way, so he's going to lose a lot of HP. But this house will get picked off. This is kind of big here for Squash. Picking off this house opens up this watchtower to get picked off, which opens up this temple to get taken down. The Pharaoh coming in, gonna have to pick off the Minotaur. Gonna come in with the mining camp, or with the priest as well. We do see some walls coming up now for Magic. This is vitally important for him to get these ones up. I love the wooden wall segment here. If this was Joe playing this matchup, just as a side note, if this was Joe playing this matchup, there would have been wall segments all around here, and this push never would have been able to have any success here. But we will see. We will see if this even works for him or not, given the wall segments coming up. These villagers are sort of trapped here as well. But he will try and keep getting this wooden wall. They can sort of garrison into this watchtower as he does run for it, but he does not manage to get there. And another watchtower coming up for Magic. I like this. Very, very smart. However, this is unlike the normal one town center aggression here. One town center Athena. Squash doesn't need to commit to anything. It's not like he's behind because he went Athena. So he can just sit back and build up his units completely fine, and then go for like a semi-fast mythic off the back of this because of how many resources that Magic has contributed to the defense. 200 gold here, all of the gold tiers, use shifting sands. He's forcing out barracks as well here, which is fantastic because that means that there's not going to be any pure chariot army to just deal with this. It looks like he's going to be wanting to make some slingers and some axemen. The barracks does get up, and I mean Squash can all in this town center if he wants. He needs to think about getting a medium hoplite if he wants that. And Hathor coming through, Shadoof coming through, Plow coming through for Magic as well. Villagers going to be repairing this up. Town center hitting the hoplites here. I like that he's not falling for the Minotaur there as well. But the barracks does come down, gets picked off. 2 barracks getting picked off now. Squash is going all in on this town center. He does have the restoration. Villagers getting pulled off. Priest, Pharaoh making their way over to defend against this one. The slingers are popping out here. Need to just put those into the barracks. Don't want to be popping them out just yet. There's the restoration as this town center is going down. The villagers can just repair this one with the help of the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh getting sniped now by the Toxotes. Nice garrison there from Magic. Just needs to keep that Pharaoh in the back. Villagers repairing, and this is going to be enough to prevent Squash from going here. But this is a lot of resources dedicated to this defense, and it's looking like not too many have fallen for Squash, and I think he's going to be retreating in the right period of time. There's the Hathor for Magic here, and now we do see Magic throwing up that Migdol Stronghold. He does have the rock here, and what I would like to see from this rock is using him to drop over onto this large gold mine here. Sneaking it, but not actually looking for a Locust here. I don't think the Locust is going to get too much value with the rock. You just grab those villagers, jump over here, get this gold mine going. With all of these units over on this side of the map, will be totally fine. Now the Toxotes coming back in. Pharaoh here, but Tsukos here will get instant bolted, you have to assume. Well, there is no DCC, so we can kind of pick it off, no problem there. Maybe save the bolt for the free damage onto the Son of Cyrus, maybe. Maybe an option here. So the units moving here to push the Patsukos back. Getting a lot of value out of it, though, as the Rock's still searching for something. There's the third town center coming up for Squash. Very, very standard. Hey, thanks so much for the 5 gifted subs, Kilty. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. And we do see Squash throwing up this archery mage. I don't think he's scouted this one here. I don't think he scouted this. I think this is huge for Magic. This is very different to the last game. There's the Locust onto this location here. An interesting Locust, but it does delay this town center for just a little bit. Not quite, though. Not quite, because the Locust not big enough to get onto all of it. So the town center will be going up. Like I've said this a million times over the course of the Champions League, but I don't like these Locusts one bit. Oh, and the Locusts do finally manage to get over, and they're going to be hard to pick off. No, they just get one more villager kill. But yeah, I don't like these Locusts here. I much prefer the Locusts for a siege tower push or for a big raid where you're going to get a lot of villager kills from it. And that's that one there. The Chariot Archers picking off these hoplites, the Toxotes, all the other stuff. Really a nice raid here from Magic, going after these Toxotes, doing some nice stuff here. And we do see the Chariot Archers coming onto these villagers here. The villagers do turn around, and honestly, it's worth the trade to get those villager kills here. Not going to be able to get the last one as the hoplite coming over, and now Squash is in a bit of a predicament here. He's taking a lot of damage. He's not lost here. He just needs to make sure he doesn't take too much. He's getting up through Dionysus. That's a question mark move. Apollo in this matchup is so vitally important because it allows you to trade a middle town center for a back town center. With the underworld attack, when all of the Egyptian units are forward, you can just swap the location that you're fighting and get a lot of damage done. It's very hard to defend against it. But Dionysus is the god of choice. It's going to allow him to get access to the Hydra. Bronze as well will allow him to push through and do some stuff. We do see some Hippocon coming out now, but without any upgrades, these heavy chariots do completely fine against them. Need to have, essentially the way I see it is, if you don't have heavy cavalry, it's not worth fighting these Chariot Archers here. The Hydra are going to be enough to force them back, but we do see Magic able to get up this town center, and he's going to be very, very happy about the position he's in right now. Now the Siege Tower is coming in. This is the time you need the Locust. 2 Siege Towers, 3 Siege Towers coming in. Locust would be more than enough to take down the town center. You get 30, or whatever it is, 30 seconds. I can never remember the time on Locust, but you get a lot of time sitting under the town center with those siege towers, and you can take it down very, very easily. And yet again, there is no Hermes here. There's no ceasefire. Restoration has been used. So Squash has to build units. He can't jump straight to the Mythic Age. He can't sit back and just defend. And we are seeing Magic full supply here, but he's got a lot of units, and he needs to think about attack. Ooh, huge raid here from Magic. These Hippocon coming in, and again, they're not that scary. You can kind of just fight them. And we do see that that's what Magic's doing. He's moving forward with these siege towers, going after the armory here. And just because they're heavy, look at them, 127 HP versus 150 HP. They do 10.2 damage, so much damage. And their armor is 30% compared to the pierce armor of 25%. So the Chariot Archers, just based on stats, I mean, yes, the Hippocon do, 50% extra bonus damage or something? Is it 100%? Do they do any bonus damage? 25% extra bonus damage versus Archers. They have a little bit of extra bonus damage versus the Archers, but it's not It's not quite enough. Imagine Locust here. Just saying. Just imagine Locust. And we do see the tower, the town center does survive. We've got Magic throwing up watchtowers now. Pharaoh or the priestess here to help take down the Hydra. We've even got some mercenary cavalry pumping into this location. We've got some chariot archers on the top of this spot here. Magic needs to move up and throw down that market. And he'll be in a really, really good position here. Jesus, this Pitsukas gets so much value here. So much value. And now the Chariot Archer is able to snipe more villages. I'm surprised to see Squash gathering from this gold mine, honestly. He's got perfectly safe gold mine here with a wall. There's the Hephaestus from Squash. And now Squash can get out Bellerophon. That should be his first port of call. Bellerophon does counter this entire Chariot Archer army with good micro. It's very hard for Ra players or Egyptian players in general to kill the Bellerophon with only Chariot Archers. Yes, you can have Crenellation Towers, but Magic does not have that up just yet. But the Bellerophon basically can just jump in, pick these units off, and do a lot of stuff there. Thank you so much for the 200 bits, Mr. Glass. Thank you so much. Now the Siege Tower taking this town center down. We've got some archery ranges in the back. Squash is sitting at 121 of 145 population. And yet again, Magic not able to push through this spot just yet. Do we see Osiris? We do not see Osiris just yet. Still no Bellerophon coming out. Do we have Forge of Olympus out just yet? I don't know. I do not know. Wait, can I see? He does not have it. He does not have it just yet. We can't afford it or something. Well, Squash is, yeah, he's got the resources to get it. Just needs the gold. Just been hurt so much by these raids. Look at these raids, absolutely brutal. Now rain coming in, as it looks like the Magic needs to get more resources to get to the next age. He's pumping out so much stuff, and the Colossus here just feeling like, yeah, this priest not enough to deal the damage that the Colossus regains here. Absolutely insane amount of regen as this gold mine is just getting eaten. That's very fun. He's got the Pitsukots plus the Priest on this. So this Colossus is just going up in HP. Now Siege Tower is coming back onto this location, ready to take the town center back down. There's 10 villages here, though. They take down Siege Towers very, very fast. And you can pick them off quite quickly, though, with the Pitsukos in the back, but not opting to do so. All those Chariot Archers as well could have been doing a lot of damage there to those villages, but not happening just yet. And the Chariot Archers over here picking off more villages, picking off trade routes, doing all of the damage. But looking like Squash is somehow managing to defend this. He's like kind of defending. Is this just because Magic is going Osiris? Yeah, he is going Osiris. So once Osiris hits, that's Catapult. Towers are already set up. Colossus will stop becoming useful, as the Colossus is almost picked off now that multiple priests are attacking against him. We'll be going down. As now we can see the Siege Towers getting surrounded by the Chariot. I actually really like this from Magic. This is something people might want to start considering using, because it blocks the surface area that the villagers can get onto the Siege Towers. And now the town center does go down. Bronze, panic bronze, if anything, for Squash. Desperation bronze coming down. Can be hitting those Toxotes or protecting the Toxotes, but even with all of those upgrades, the Chariot Archers just do so much damage, and they can basically one-hit those 60 HP unupgraded Toxotes here. How's the armory upgrades looking for Squash? Still completely unupgraded. And now Magic can just simply move forward, grab this town center, be 4 town centers to 2 town center advantage with Osiris and a Son of Osiris to boot. And we still do not see any sort of Bellerophon as Squash taps out. GG, well played by Magic. Really, really nice defense against that Athena aggression there. But this was really all about the raids. I think maybe if Squash had thrown up walls around when he was attacking in the classical age, went for maybe a couple more villages on gold, got those walls up, he probably could have been in a fine position here. But he just took way too much damage by those raids, and Magic just got too far in front and was too strong. And just basically shut Squash down there. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. If you are enjoying the content, please consider hitting the follow button. And I will see you guys in the next game.